22nd May 2020, Pakistani flag carrier PIA 8303, which originated from Allama Iqbal International Airport, Lahore, crashed after an unsuccessful attempt for landing at Karachi International Airport. We start with the aircraft. The aircraft was manufactured on 2004 and it made its first maiden flight in 17th August 2004. That's my birthday. And the aircraft was owned by GE Capital Aviation Services. The company leased that aircraft to China Eastern Airlines. Since 2004 to 2014, the China Airline was operating the aircraft. And in 2014, 19th October, the company leased the same aircraft to Pakistan International Airlines, and since 2014, the aircraft was servicing Pakistan International. So now let's talk about the accident. It was 22nd May 2020, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The aircraft got permission to take off. There were total 98 souls on board, including 8 crew members and 1 passenger, Sarah Abid. She was a Pakistani model and she made her first film debut in Chaudhry. Everything was fine and normal like the other flights. Now it was time for the approach. And that's where the problem starts. They were 15 nautical miles away from the touchdown. They were cruising at altitude 10,000 feet instead of 7,000 feet. They got warning from ATC regarding the height and speed. But pilot replied they were comfortable with the approach. Now it was 10 nautical miles away from the touchdown. They were cruising at 7,000 feet instead of 3,000 feet. Again they issued the warning from ATC and pilot ignored the warning from ATC and replied they were comfortable with the approach. But when it was time to lower the landing gear, apparently the landing gear fails to extend. The pilot followed all the procedures and they decide for a belly landing. But ATC is still not aware of the belly landing. Now guys, I will tell you why belly landing is crucial and why it requires high piloting skills. There are 2 main factors that's why the belly landing becomes difficult and dangerous, or you can say risky. The number 1, when the aircraft is coming at the high speed or coming with a high descent rate, can or have high risk of crash. Suppose if aircraft is coming at high speed and touches down, it would roll over and break into pieces. Or if it is coming at a high descent rate and it touches down, it will again break and will end up in fatalities, taking the lives. So that's why it requires high piloting skills, because if the pilot is coming too fast or too slow or even with a great descent rate, can keep the passengers' life at risk. Now reason number 2. The engines are the first thing of the aircraft that touches the ground in belly landing. And if pilot decides to go around after touchdown, would obviously is risky, because engine have touched the ground and coming at the high speed, the engine would have been damaged. So there are more risk of being the engine failure. So again, that's why pilot have to land in one go. That's why I told you why piloting skill is required in belly landing. Now let's come back to the incident. In this case, the pilot decides to go around, and that's where they have done big mistake. In these pictures, you can see both the runway and the engines are damaged completely, and thus this was where the engine started losing the power and they were finding difficult to maintain the altitude. Before we go any further, I want you guys to listen to this audio between the pilot and the ATC.
78, contact Tehran 120.3, good day.
303 going round.
3 report reaching altitude 3,500 feet.
For Pakistan 8303, we would like to come again for ILS 25 left.
Descend left heading 110, climb 3000.
Left heading confirm.
From left heading 110, climb 3000.
110, climb 3000, Pakistan 8303.
8303, you are jumping altitude 2000.
Sir, we have just give me 2000.
So maintain 2000. 8303, most value showing 1800 feet at descent.
Copied, sir. We are now maintaining, trying to
As you
maintain.
guys heard, the pilot are finding difficult to maintain the altitude. And in this picture, you can see a small turbine which is deployed. That is called RAT, Ram Air Turbine. That is used as an alternate. Hydraulics or for electrical supplies to aircraft in emergency situation. This means the engine started losing power or have lost power. After few minutes, the pilots make call sign Mayday, Mayday, Mayday to ATC. And that was the last time pilot communicated with the ATC, and after a few seconds, the aircraft crashed, taking 98 lives, 97 on board and 1 on ground. As you guys can see in this video, the plane had lost power and was stalling. Okay, in my point of view, it is both pilot and technical error. It's not that I'm blaming anyone, just a fact. I'm telling what I believe. And as far as information available, the aircraft was installed with landing gear in 2014 and had next major service in 2024, means after 4 years. And also, what I believe or what I have understood in the aviation sectors, after this incident, engineers would come up with new technology that would decrease the risk of belly landing, which is always good for everyone. Now about coincidence. Exactly 10 years before, 22nd May 2010, Air India Express, which originated from Dubai International Airport to Bangalore International Airport, there were 166 souls on board. It crashed due to overrun the runway, killing 158 souls. Fortunately, there were 8 survivors. So if you guys want me to make video on the Air India Express crash, do comment below. Thank you and keep watching No Mentor.